Hello and welcome to Ontario, California. My name is Brian Tabajay. So glad you can join us here inside Citizens Business Bank Arena for tonight's Major Arena Soccer League game between your Ontario Fury and their Pacific Division rivals, the Turlock Express. Tonight's home opener kicks off the Ontario Fury's 6th season at Citizens Business Bank Arena and the 5th as part of Major Arena Soccer League. Alongside Jose Duran here for another exciting MASL season for the Ontario Fury. Jose, welcome back.
It's good to be back, Brian. Feel the intensity already within the players, the atmosphere building up outside the arena. It's been 274 days since the Fury last played an official MASL game
You're
here
not counting.
at Citizens
You're
Business
not
Bank.
counting.
I've been counting, keeping track, but that all ends tonight here against the Turlock. Should be a good one.
All right, so very quickly, the opening roster for tonight's Ontario Fury matchup with the Turlock Express. For the visitors, Edgar Martinez, Rafael Alcator, Arturo Polito, Adrian Gutierrez, Jorge Carmona, Juan Carlos Bugarin, Martin Arista, Adrian Polito, Carlos Manzo, Matt Germain, Martin Sanchez, Ernesto Luna, Ivan Rios, Adrian Plasencia, and Manny Villegas. There are a slew, Jose, of moves that team president Bernie Lillavois and the Ontario Fury have made in the offseason. Let's start with the opening roster for the home team. Clayson De Lima is the backup goalkeeper. Willie Regosa, the midfielder. Robert Tornell, the defender. Juan Carlos Gonzalez, also known as Charlie Gonzalez, the midfielder. Andre Campbell, Andy Reyes, Adrian Perez, Francisco Cordiero, Evan McNeely, Mike Ande Abreu, Israel Cisse, the captain. Tony Walls, Tino Nunez, another familiar name. Chris Toth is part of the Ontario Fury, and Jeff Hughes, also part of the Ontario Fury family this season. A lot of big moves, Jose. Yep. Let's start with the big name, Chris Toth, two-time MASL Goalkeeper of the Year. What do you see Chris Toth bringing over to the Ontario Fury?
Yeah, not a lot of times that you hear a goalkeeper being the essential part of acquisitions in the offseason, but I think Chris Toth is definitely that kind of player that the Fury need in the back goal line. And it's definitely an experience that's going to help out this year.
And, you know, we'll dive into a few more key roster moves in the offseason. But first, the national anthem here from Ontario, California. Beautiful rendition there for our national anthem. Jose, this marks the 6th season for the Ontario Fury. Opening game for your Ontario Fury for their 2018-19 campaign. Believe it or not, there's still 3 Fury players part of the original roster in Tino Nunez, Robert Tornell, and the captain Israel Cisse. The core of players return to the Ontario Fury compared to last season's exit. It was somewhat of a disappointing season last year, just missing the playoffs. Of course, San Diego Sockers do what the San Diego Sockers do and win. And more importantly, they won in the biggest game of the season last year to end the Ontario Fury's regular season. As Corey Murray, the veteran for the Ontario Fury, just announced his retirement this season as well. So obviously here celebrating the home opener with team president at the halfway point of the field there. Corey Murray And to kick things off here for the 2018-19 campaign, let's dig into these roster moves. Aside from Chris Toth, who's also the biggest name of, I would say, that trade, we did give up Juan Gonzalez and the offensive threat in Leonardo de Oliveira heading down to San Diego. Also coming up from San Diego, Jeff Hughes.
Yeah, I think that's the key too as well right there. You just said him, Jeff Hughes, a player coming in from San Diego. We saw him earlier in the preseason when the Fury took on the Anaheim indoor team, and he looked really solid. The Bolts, yeah, there you go, the Bolts. And he looked like a player that definitely, well, he was actually a player coach in that game, and he is actually someone that definitely could lead the charge for the Fury in terms of leadership.
Evan McNeely joins the back line as well. Familiar name, a 15-year veteran of indoor soccer coming from Tacoma as well. Tony Walls, a new face and a new name for the Ontario Fury forward, and also Andre Campbell that'll join the defensive presence there for the Ontario Fury. What an exciting time it is in the 6th season for the Ontario Fury. A familiar name behind the bench tonight, team president Bernie Lillivois, taking over as head coach duties as head coach Jimmy Nordberg out with some prior commitments before tonight's matchup. Team president Bernie Lillivois, what do you see from him? Any excitement, any emotion you think from Bernie? I asked that, of course, rhetorically to you, Jose.
You know, we're just one day away, or day off, I should say, from Throwback Thursday, but Bernie Lillivois definitely a presence that's felt in the bench and overall when he's with his players. You know, we had a chance to travel this June to Guatemala with the American indoor soccer team as well, where he was a coach for the side. So he does provide that experience very well, and he knows the players. He knows what he wants from them. So you should see a very electrifying Bernie on the sidelines tonight.
A couple inactive players on the roster for the Ontario Fury: Gino Kim, Jiho Lee, and Uday Belhaj, who joined the team last season at the very, very end of the season and sparked some energy, some offensive pickup as well. A futsal star in Africa, and so glad he can join us out here as well. Starting lineup: Chris Toth in the net, McNeely, Cisse, Andy Reyes, Adrian Perez, who was MASL rookie, all-rookie team last year, as there's a foul on the captain, Israel Cisse. And also it looks to be Tony Walls starting on the pitch as well for head coach Bernie Lillivois. Head coach for tonight, Bernie Lillivois. Turlock now maintaining possession at the midway point. Just underway here live on MASL TV. So glad you can join us right here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Of course, Ontario Fury Soccer driven by Mark Christopher Chevrolet. Casa Colina and National Community Corps Renaissance, also proud sponsors of your home team, Ontario Fury. Turlock making another visit here in consecutive visits in the last couple of weeks here. Last preseason contest for both teams was right here as Turlock took that victory as a short-sided left-footed attempt there from the far side off the foot of Perez, just wide. Andy Reyes maintaining possession, and Charlie Gonzalez onto the pitch for the first time tonight, along with the veteran Tino Nunez.
Yeah, the last time the Turlock were here, like you mentioned, Brian, they came out victorious 8-7 here at Citizens Business Bank Arena, a game in which a lot of the Fury coaches and players trying to figure out the roster as they went. They had a huge lead, the Fury did, heading into the fourth and final quarter. They made the substitution from Chris Toth to De Lima. Was a little bit rusty there. 8-7 was the final score, but should be a different game tonight.
Tino Nunez, Jose, trying to turn back the clock on that last attempt there. Bicycle kick attempt sailed up and over and out of bounds. And here's Turlock on the restart, just underway here in the first quarter. It's going to take some time for me to get used to saying Ontario Fury goalkeeper Chris Toth. But more than happy to get used to that as we see him now part of this great organization here in the Inland Empire. Foul along the far side, along those far side boards. Charlie Gonzalez and one of the Turlock defenders there making friends. That's Placencia. Charlie Gonzalez on the free kick. And it's a left-footed shot attempt off of the foot of McNeely. He'll keep it inside their offensive third that hops up and out of bounds. And the restart coming here for Turlock along the far side.
And one of the players for the Turlock to go ahead and keep an eye out is number 19, the captain, Matt Germain. A very well versatile player forward, keeps the team moving himself, and is definitely a player to look out for tonight, Brian.
Yeah, it's Campbell now holding Turlock to their defensive half. And just under way here in the first quarter. So glad you can join us. Another MASL league opener tonight. Orlando and the Ambush all tied up at 4 unofficially in overtime. As Toth off his back line there, Jose. Nice active play from their new goalkeeper. And not only is Toth important while he's on the pitch, Jose, the rookie goalkeeper from last year, the backup, Clayson De Lima, can learn a plethora of knowledge from the former 2-time MASL goalkeeper of the year in Toth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely someone you could learn from, his Toth. And after that save that he just got earlier, you always want to get the first save under your belt already, get a little confidence moving forward. Not that he doesn't have it, but it's definitely something that you look out for.
I mean, De Lima just has the length and so far the smarts that we've seen in his limited time on the pitch, but very promising as Adrian Perez is trying to tee it up on his powerful left foot. And what does he do but find the bottom 90 on the right corner? The opening goal from Ontario, and it's Adrian Perez, 1-0 Ontario.
You know, Adrian Perez, we coined it last year, the magical left that he has, and he's showing it once again here. Why is it that we call it so magical? He made it look so easy, and it's definitely a move that it's not with much ease. He just moved to his left, finally stroke it, and found the back of the net. Adrian Perez finds the back of the goal for the Ontario Fury, and it's 1-0, Brian.
Adrian Perez does what he does. 27 goals last year, 12 assists, 39 total points. Boy, he made that look easy as he took the ball right down the middle of the pitch, crossed, set up his own left foot, and away it went into that bottom 90. I don't know if the goalkeeper was screened on that play or not. Didn't have that much velocity behind it. It was all about placement on that shot attempt and success for the Ontario Fury, and they lead 1-0 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, there's a reason why Adrian Perez is part of the MASL all-rookie team last year, and he's showing it there with that shot on a goal and getting really involved in the Fury offense early on.
Walls there nearly got some disruption along that near side boards. Andy Reyes now will flick on to Walls. And Turlock will reset here. 11:15 remaining here in the first quarter from Ontario. A 1-0 lead. Goal from Adrian Perez. As the other MASL game of the night, Orlando and Ambush still tied at 4 unofficially. As Turlock now along the far side has some real estate. Toth way off his line there, Jose. And Campbell will walk away with it, crossing midfield. Does have Nunez to the far side. Plays it to Nunez. One-timer! And it's in right between the wickets of the Turlock goalkeeper. 2-0 Ontario.
What a way to make your first game felt here in Citizens Business Bank Arena with an assist and a very well pass, but a very much well finished by Tino Nunez in the back as a greatly well struck counterattack by the Ontario Fury has them up 2-0 here. And they're looking like a very comfortable lead so far here in the first couple of minutes of the first quarter, Brian.
You know what I like from this press box view, Jose? Is that you see plays develop as you watch the Casa Colina instant replay on the big screen here at home. You see that play develop. Nunez unguarded along that far side. I don't know if they just left him alone for leaving him alone and not really receiving him as a big threat. But Campbell found him along that far side. And it was a one-time finish. I don't think he would have scored if he took an extra touch there, as the goalkeeper had zero time to reset in Edgar Martinez to actually have a play on that shot there. But it looked like it went right between the legs there of their goalkeeper, Martinez. And here we are at 2-0.
Yeah, and like you mentioned right now, we get to see the whole play built up, and it starts all the way from the back with the new addition of Chris Toth and making that save. Made himself look huge there. And the counterattack right away had Campbell and Tino Nunez connect, and something that Brittany Littleval is definitely going to get a smile on his face for seeing that connection.
Now let's see. The common theme, Jose, from your Ontario Fury, at least the last couple seasons here, especially last season, I should really say, building up this lead and then getting broken down throughout the game, right? It was those nervous time around the third, fourth quarter. That shot just rises over the upper 90 along the left side, near side boards, and another left-footed shot attempt there deflected. Luno, the first shot attempt. And then I believe that was Manzo, excuse me. Nunez now along the far side. Left-footed shot attempt. Wow, Nunez really turning back the clock here. Maybe got some off-season work there as he hops off the pitch, expending all that energy. As Turlock now crossing midfield. To the near side they go. An easy interception there from Ontario. Along the far side now is Campbell. Maicon Deabre trying to join the attack here. First time we've said his name tonight. The returning player for the Ontario Fury as Bougarain lays it off. And nice deflection there from Andy Reyes. And a restart coming here for the visitors.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Brian, what we saw last season, you know, the Fury did give up a couple mental lapses, goals, and things that had left you head scratching. But fortunately enough, in the first 7 minutes that we have gone so far, nothing of that mattered. But also the Turlock hasn't had any clear chances or opportunities that we could say as well.
Hughes now on the ball on the pitch for the first time. Walls breaks away from his defender, crosses midfield. Now in his offensive third, plays it off the wall. Maintaining pressure here is Walls, a newcomer for Ontario, one of the newcomers.
Yeah, Tony Walls, formerly in St. Louis FC of the United Soccer League, of the USL, and now joining us here with the Ontario Fury. Not too long ago, they announced the new acquisition and making his presence felt so far.
A lot of playing time so far for Walls. Let's see if that continues here in the first quarter. 8 minutes remain here. Charlie Gonzalez gets the gimme rebound and put away as they lead 3-0 here in the first quarter over Turlock.
We were just mentioning the exact player that got the assist on the shot, but Tony Walls gets a shot. Why not? You know, they're giving you the space. Tino Nunez, you said earlier too as well, turning back the clock in the shots that he's taking them, but they're giving you the space. Why not and take the shot? He did so there, and luckily enough for the Fury, able to get the rebound and put that back in the net.
That was Nunez right there off that shot attempt from the near side. That was really a gimme rebound attempt there. And he netted that at the top of the goal there. And a quick timeout here on the pitch as your home team, Ontario Fury, lead 3-0 here in the opening quarter from Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay. So glad you can join us on MASL.TV, joined by Jose Duran. We are back for another season, fans, and we couldn't be more excited and more proud to be part of this organization as they start their 6th campaign here already. I can't believe it's already 6 seasons as Turlock calls a timeout on the pitch. So far, what you've seen, we've had Adrian Perez, we've had Tino Nunez, and Charlie Gonzalez all score those 3 first goals. Definite positive signs here from the home team.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a connection of a veteran with youth. And I shouldn't say much youth for Adrian Perez because he's already got that rookie year under his belt. But you can see that mesh and that connection going well. And out of all the people here so far in Citizens Business Bank Arena with excitement, there's no one as excited for this 3-0 league than interim head coach Bernie Lillewall. As you see him directing his players still, not letting him down. We know that here in the Major Arena Soccer League, a 3-goal lead could evaporate just in a heartbeat. But if you're a head coach, Bernie Lillewall, you got to be ecstatic with what you've seen so far in these first couple of minutes in the first quarter, up 3-0, and the defense not letting down, and a great connection between the back line, the midfielders, and the forwards.
Toth having a toss all the way out to Nunez, and that's broken up momentarily there from Turlock. Seven and a half remaining here from Ontario as now Perez trying to set up his left foot again, lays it off to Nunez. Along the near side, he'll switch it over to De Abreu.
In that sequence right now, we saw Adrian Perez attacking with his left. It's almost as if the ball is just magically stuck, or there's some kind of magnetic field pushing the ball with his left foot. But we see the class that he has and the ability to go ahead and run, cut, make the pace, and the options that he has with putting the ball forward or putting it backwards like we saw there.
Wall's a little frustrated with his first touch there as it rolled off a little too much off of that right foot. Says good ball from Chris Toth. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for Ontario. They still lead 3-0 here with 7 minutes remaining here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. A few changes in the MASL rulebook here, Jose, as I saw Toth throw that ball to Nunez just a second ago. The 3-line rule exception. Goalkeepers will now be exempt from the 3-line rule when distributing the ball with a throw. Goalkeepers cannot also possess the ball over the midfield line until the fourth quarter of the game.
It's going to be interesting.
That's huge.
Rules, yeah, absolutely huge. The last implementation to the fourth quarter. It's going to definitely change a lot of game plans for head coaches this season.
Toth with the quick hands along the near side boards there. As that was probably the best attempt so far for Turlock tonight. But goalkeepers will be also limited to 4 seconds with possession of the ball. A little speed, a little tempo added to the game here. The 6th attacker. The players on the field as a 6th attacker will now have to serve any timed penalty called against them. Previously, they were treated as a normal goalkeeper, and a field player could serve their time penalties. That's kind of a big rule change there, too, for the MASL. So a couple of different changes here in the 18-19 campaign. As, man, this is the first time actually I can't believe I missed the captain's boots on the pitch tonight. Those things are as bright as his armband with orange and neon green on the captain, Izzy Cisse. As he settles the ball down, Tony Walls, a bicycle kick attempt, and then it's Cisse off his head and no good. That ball somehow, some way, not in the back of the net. As Cisse says, let's calm things down, let's regain possession, let's create more opportunities. As Toth now lays it off to Tornell. I'm going to give Tornell a round of applause. This guy has been part of the Ontario Fury since their inception. Tornell unlucky with some knee injuries in the past, and so glad he can join the team on the pitch. Again, as Walls kind of stopped there, Jose, thought there was a foul or a little disruption there. Tornell shoulder to shoulder, and for some reason that's a foul call along the far side boards.
Yeah, I got to play till you hear the whistle, as they always say. But in this last sequence, we saw the ball ricochet off the wall a couple times, denying of a goal for the Fury, but they're knocking. Oh, what a play.
Oh, Toth. Save of the game so far for Chris Toth. And now on his horse is Perez. Right foot just off the post. And the follow-up attempt is no good. Andy Reyes just steered that one wide. Ontario with all the momentum so far here in the first quarter. As a slide tackle from Perez, leaving his feet there. Blue card shown immediately there.
Yeah, very unnecessary slide there for Adrian. Not exactly sure what he was thinking to make the play. I know you're eager to get the ball back or whatnot. And in the last sequence that we saw, it's been a lot fast forward moving back and forth pace between the two teams, but unnecessarily going to cost his team a player down for 2 minutes here, Brian.
Yeah, first penalty of the game, and to be honest, as we watch on the Casa Colina instant replay on the home board here, Jose Perez, very, very lucky that wasn't more than a blue card. Yeah. Initially when I saw that happen, I thought he was done. Thankfully for us, just a minor penalty. And Ontario here on the penalty kill for the first time this season.
Yeah, and we mentioned as last year, just small little mental mistakes that will cost the Fury. Hopefully this is not one of them.
Izzy Cisse, nice defense on the penalty kill. Minute 40 remaining on the Turlock Express power play. Of course, the blue card indicating the 2-minute timed penalty as a minor penalty here. Along the near side board, steers it to the far side, deflected off of Hughes, and now Cisse, the captain.
Great dummy.
And a deflection there. It made it all the way through, but there was a definite deflection there as Turlock capitalizes on that power play, and it's 3-1 here with 4:18 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, definitely a deflection there, but if you see before the shot gets taken, there was a dummy play between the legs of Matt Germain, who lets it go through smartly enough, knowing that his player is going to go ahead and close the shot there. Takes a deflection, fights the back of the net, and unfortunately for the Fury, it's 3-1 right when they were on the heels of getting the fourth goal.
And here we go. After that power play capitalization, it is a 3-1 lead for the home team Ontario Fury. Unofficially, I believe that was Jermaine, correct?
Yeah. So Jermaine had the assist as he dummied it between his legs.
The goal scorer we'll get in just a moment here from Ontario, but a 3-1 lead, and then Toth with that right hand. Another fantastic save for the new goalkeeper of Ontario. 3-1 with 3:40 remaining here in the opening quarter. Off the boards, they play along the near side, defended by Campbell. And now they'll lay it off to the near side.
That was a great save by Toth there.
That's Polito, and he's tripped up for a split second. No foul call on Raygoza. And they'll continue on along the near sides. And now Campbell steps in and says, let's clear it and get some breathing room here. Turlock with some pressure since they started their power play as Martinez lays it off for a reset here. And Walls, the lone Fury player with the pressure. Along the near side is Gutierrez. He'll steer it to the far side and then come back to the near side to Polito. Polito now trying to work a 1-2 down the middle of the pitch. Off the wall they play. And Maikon de Abreu will clear the zone. Fresh bodies onto the pitch for the home team Ontario Fury.
It's almost as if the power play just woke up the Turlock as letting them know that, hey, y'all can play the game of soccer as well. And then they're touching the ball very well. And Polito going in there briefly, showing the class that he has with his foot.
Tony Walls is going to have to continue to keep playing. Jose, you mentioned playing until you hear the whistle.
Yeah.
As he was tripped up near midfield. No foul, and he thought otherwise as the ball jumps up and out of bounds along the near side bench of the visitors from Turlock.
2 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the first quarter. You want to go ahead and maintain the lead and not let any goals go by for the Turlock and close the first quarter of the 2018 home opener in a good note.
CCA now along the near side. He'll steer it to the far side of Toth. He'll wait for some extra support as McNeely hops on, Tornell hops on, Nunez receives that ball along the near side boards. 2 points already on the night for the veteran Tino Nunez. Andy Reyes trying to create some separation. He'll play it to Tornell. Now along the near side is Nunez trying to shield off his defender unsuccessfully. Charlie Gonzalez takes a touch, and Tornell will switch the field to McNeely. Perez now tees up his left foot, plays it off the boards. Rebound set up for Tornell, but he decides to lay it off to the far side. 1:15 remaining here in the opening quarter from Citizens Business Bank Arena. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.TV. Perez nearly causing some disruption there right in front of the Turlock goalkeeper Martinez. And they'll take some extra time as they reset here along the far side. Stolen from Walls.
Great ball.
Lays it off to Perez. And it is a clinical finish for the home team, Ontario Fury. They lead 4-1.
You know, just like you become a hero on one end, Maya Jermaine with the dummy assist for the goal for the Turlock. He has a slide, crucial slide, just a couple seconds before the goal that takes the ball away. He tries to do a little too extra, makes a cut, gets the ball stolen away, smartly put in the middle just so they could put it in the back of the net. Does Adrian Perez very easily, and it's 4-1 Fury. Mental mistakes will cost you the game either way.
So Perez picking up where he left off last year. 27 goals for last year's rookie campaign. Already 2 goals tonight. And already, Jose, these key components that were picked up in the offseason paying dividends already. Campbell with an assist. Walls with an assist. Perez already leading the charge offensively for the home team Ontario Fury. You know, a lot was thought of offensively as Leonardo de Oliveira traded to the San Diego Sockers for goalkeeper Chris Toth, as now 40 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter from Ontario. But man, oh man, this core play, the Ontario Fury players, and it highlighted all the way up to Fox Sports. It was an insanely sweet goal. Unfortunately, it was against us, and that's why I remember that goal so vividly.
You know, those kind of goals that you could get here in the MASL due to the walls. We almost saw a bicycle kick go our way earlier in the match, but definitely looking to add to the highlight for our side tonight and on Sunday when the Dallas Sidekicks come back to Citizens Business Bank Arena.
Second quarter just underway here from CBBA. They lead 5-1. A touch over Charlie Gonzalez, just high for Arista off that left foot. And now to the near sides with Walls. Shoved off the ball. Lays it off to Campbell. One touches to the near side to Perez.
Oh, what a ball.
He'll lay it off to Walls. Walls trying to tee it up for himself, the 5-year indoor veteran. Again, pleading his case to the referees. But here goes Turlock now after recovering defensively. That deflection will lay it off to McNeely. Drives it to the far side. Raygoza tried to get a better touch off of that left foot. Definitely a difficult play. Nothing easy about that play. First time touch for Raygoza. And now Turlock along the far side. Calling for the ball along the near side is Villegas. Defended there from Nunez, and Raygoza will take over. A 3-on-2 if they hurry. Raygoza right down the middle, lays it off to Perez. Just a little shy. They call that a hospital ball, right?
Yeah, nothing the goalie could go ahead and just do other than just get that out of there.
Cisse now along the far side. They call it a hospital, Jose, because hospital ball, I should say, because that ball wasn't touched enough, and it's a 50-50 ball, right? Meaning if you and I are going after it with that sort of pace, there's a chance that one of us would go to the hospital. Old school terminology here from us here at Citizens Business Bank Arena as Toth into the mid-stat goes and tried to restart Torres right down the middle of the pitch, but with 11:50, Turlock trying to generate some offense here in the second quarter. They are down 5-1. As now Cisse, the captain, playing defense along the near side boards. Chico Francisco, first time I've said his name this season, on the ball, tripped up late there, no foul call.
No, they did.
As Ernesto Luna and him are making friends here on a Friday night in Ontario. Referee says play on along the far sides, but showing the blue card. 11:20 remaining. And now the extra attacker, delayed penalty here for the Ontario Fury. So an extra attacker here. Referee say play on. Hughes with possession here along with McNeely. Cisse to the far side. Francisco on the pitch as well. And Perez now joining the attack along the far side. Under 11 minutes, Perez with his right foot. And now after possession is maintained from Turlock, the whistle finally blows with 10:52 remaining here in the second quarter. Delayed penalty call there. I believe it will just be a trip, but it will be on Luna as he heads to the box for the first time tonight. Let's see if Ontario can capitalize on their first power play of the season.
Yeah, they hope to go ahead and capitalize for it, but if they keep on doing what they've been doing for this last couple of minutes in the second quarter and throughout the first, they will definitely get a goal or two in the back of the net because the Fury have been on point on everything offensively and defensively. The player that's been standing out to me the most has been McNeely, and what he provides defensively, he's just a brick back there, almost as if a wall that just decided not to go ahead and let anything pass them tonight. But so far, the Fury with the power play, let's see if they could capitalize here.
10:50 remaining here in the first half of play from Citizens Business Bank Arena. On the pitch is Walls, Nunez, Perez, Hughes, and McNeely along the far side. So just underway here on the power play for the first time this season. McNeely to the far side in Walls. And now Perez. Turlock with some pressure here and forced to play back to his goalkeeper is Hughes. And now along the near side is Walls. Joining the attack is Perez on the overlapping run. Excuse me, Jose. And whistle dead after Perez, I thought, got around the defender Germain successfully, but whistle played dead here. A foul on Perez. Restart here for Turlock.
A minute 18 left here in the power play so far. Nothing for for the Ontario Fury. The Walls had options to his right, making the overlapping run. Nunes wasn't the best of touches, and the Fury not able to capitalize so far with a minute gone by in the power play.
Hughes now steers it to the far side in McNeely. McNeely plays off of that defender and lays it back over to Hughes. No shot attempts yet here on this power play. McNeely trying to generate some space to tee up his left foot. And 45 seconds now remaining here. Charlie Gonzalez, part of the power play. Now Walls kind of toe poke it towards Martinez. Easy save in the end for the Turlock goalkeeper. To the far side is Hughes. And now McNeely tees it up and out of bounds. 32 seconds remaining on the power play for your home team, Ontario Fury. Live right here on MASL.TV. Unofficially, they ambush victorious over Orlando 5-4 in the other contests in the MASL tonight. And they are a slew of games on tilt for tomorrow as well. Opening weekend here for the MASL. 9:10 remaining here in the second quarter from Ontario. To the near side is Charlie Gonzalez. And he'll continue to steer it to Walls. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Gonzalez to Walls off the far side board, near side boards. And it looks like they'll just reset and regroup. Power play over for the home team.
You know, we're saying that the Fury haven't been able to capitalize in the power play, but in fact, it's because of the great defense that Turlock put on in that sequence. Definitely locked down the Fury, didn't let them get comfortable or anything going for them offensively, and it's still 5-1.
Unofficially, 2 shots on that power play for Ontario. And now Perez trying to maintain possession here in their offensive third. And Cisse will let that ball roll, all the way over to Toth. 8:15 remaining here in the second quarter from Ontario. A 5-1 lead. Adrian Perez already with a hat trick tonight, along with Nunez and Gonzalez, your goal scorers. Tino Nunez, the veteran of the Ontario Fury, along with Charlie Gonzalez, who I believe now in his 3rd season is Charlie Gonzalez, another local talent here from the Inland Empire. And now Toth taking some time as they reset. They'll drive it down the near side boards. Francisco on the other end of that ball as Turlock plays it carefully out of harm's way defensively. Now along the far side is Rios. Lay it off to Gutierrez. Gutierrez will switch it to the near side in Arista. Perez, a lone attacker for Ontario, applying the pressure. Now along the near side is Turlock, as they're trying to generate some sort of opportunity here for Turlock, the visitors who were successful in the preseason.
Watch that counter.
As now Hughes 2-on-1 if they hurry. To the far side is Francisco. Hughes slows down a bit. And now off the boards. Defensively, Turlock does well there.
Yeah, not sure exactly why was it that Hughes slowed down to that counterattack. They had 2v1 going for them. Nothing to capitalize there, and it's still 5-1 with 6:40 left here in the second quarter.
Well, a veteran of the MASL knows how to conserve some energy there. Not known for his attack is the midfielder in Hughes. But Turlock did switch goalkeepers, I believe, the start of this quarter, and Martin Sanchez now playing in between the posts here for Turlock. 6.5 remaining here in the second quarter. As a timeout's called on the pitch here from Ontario. A 5-1 lead for the Ontario Fury. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.TV. You can join us all season long on MASL.TV or MASLsoccer.com. All game time specific. Game time subject to change as well. The next home game, fans, Sunday, December 9th versus the Dallas Sidekicks. Welcome back, like you said, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Welcome back to Dallas Sidekicks. That game time at 5 p.m. As Ontario will be paying tribute to the military, as the game will be Military Appreciation Night here in Ontario. Proceeds from ticket sales will be donated to various nonprofit community groups supporting military families. Also, if you're interested in group tickets, single game tickets as well, 909-457-0245 452 is the number you can call for tickets here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Of course, Ontario Fury Soccer, driven by Mark Christopher Chevrolet here in Ontario, Casa Colina, and National Community Corps Renaissance. Also, big sponsors and showing love again to the Ontario Fury for their proud partnerships throughout the seasons. So glad they're back here with another great franchise joining, or I should say, their 6th season, Jose. Kicking off here live from Ontario, and you're watching it live right here on MSL.tv. But 6 seasons, and head coach for tonight. Head coach for tonight is Bernie Lillival, also team president. Busy in the off season. Very busy in the off season. Andre Campbell, Evan McNeely, Chris Toth. Yes, I said Chris Toth again for the Ontario Fury. Tony Walls and Jeff Hughes, just to name a few key acquisitions here in the off season. The biggest move, though, Toth was traded over from San Diego.
Still doesn't feel right, to even say it. Even seeing him on with the Fury jersey.
You know what? I'm good. I see his jersey, too. It's gray and blue. You know, that looks familiar, but the name and the face. Welcome to Ontario, Mr. Toth, as Hughes tried to shovel it towards Race along the near side. That was broken out and sniffed out defensively from Turlock. 6:15 remaining here in the first half from Ontario. To the far side it works. A little shove in the back from the captain Cisse. Easy call for the referee. And a free kick coming along the the far side for Turlock. And you don't want to miss that little halftime recap that we have.
That's right.
Right here live from Citizens Business Bank Arena.
And so far what we've seen in the first half of play is similar to what we saw at the preseason game between these two. A lot of fury, not so much from the Turlock. And hopefully they're able to go ahead and lock that up in the second half, do the Fury.
Well, a 4-goal lead here, Jose, with under 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. At 5-1, Fury lead. A hat trick already given by Adrian Perez. Nunez and Charlie Gonzalez also part of that scoring party so far here in the first half. Foul committed by Andy Reyes at midfield, and a restart coming for the visitors. To the near side they work. Ooh, that was a loud deflection there off the captain's chest. Nunez now along the far side after it was steered over from McNeely. And now Tornell. Tornell, I'm just happy to say his name again for the Ontario Fury. This kid has been unlucky with some knee injuries. He's back on the pitch. Part of the original roster is Robert Tornell, as he gets welcomed back here from the home crowd. And now Turlock along the near side. Tried to get that breakout along the near side and broken up defensively from your Fury. Switch of the field to the near side to De Abreu. Steers it to the far side. Charlie Gonzalez lets loose. And a foot save there from the diving goalkeeper Sanchez. Fury working from right to left here in this second quarter. They're predominantly black and gray kits with some red trim. And Turlock in their predominantly white away kits with black shorts and black socks. A stop here, a whistle on the field. I believe it was a defensive clearance, so a restart will come at the top of the arc, and that's what the referees are saying. Hey, you guys get to start up a little bit closer after that clearance there defensively.
It's dangerous here, and definitely an opportunity for the Fury to take advantage of what they practiced throughout the week.
Layoff to Gonzalez. Oh, my God, that shot just curled on the inside portion of that post there and out. Simple restart and set play. Now Perez will steer it to Walls. Walls looking for his first goal. No luck there. And I'm going to say Perez for the fourth time tonight finds the back of the net. And it's a 6-1 lead. Adrian Perez with his fourth goal on the night.
For the fourth time tonight, and he is pumped, asking the crowd to go ahead and get behind him on their feet. 4 goals for Adrian Perez. And once again, it wasn't pretty this time, but that magical left able to find the back of the net for the fourth time tonight, Brian. 6-1 Ontario Fury over Turlock Express. And it's all been because of that man, Adrian Perez.
Perez gets rewarded. Wall's a little frustrated. He had the open net on that shot attempt.
Yeah.
He still celebrated the goal, no doubt, but a little frustrated there. He could have got his first goal as a member of the Ontario Fury. I'm assuming that he'll have plenty of opportunities to celebrate with this team here in Ontario. A 6-1 lead now for the Ontario Fury. 4:05 remaining here in the first half as Raygoza lays it off to Toth. Toth steers it upfield to Francisco. Now Raygoza. And now Perez along the near side.
Oh, what a ball.
Dummy attempt and off the left foot of Maicon De Abreu. Man, there's more left footers on this team than I actually realize. And De Abreu, Perez, McNeely.
Very talented, too.
Very talented left feet. Whistle played dead here. I'm unsure what the call was on the pitch. Team president and interim coach for tonight, Bernie Lilavois, letting the referees know his thoughts as they restart here. And looks like there was a timeout on the pitch.
He's livid.
Lilavois justifying his case here. There's too many men on the field. So a minor penalty here for Ontario. Looks like Nunez will serve that penalty. Too many men on the pitch. Another minor penalty here. Turlock 1 for 1 on the power play tonight. Hopefully they do not go 2 for 2. Ontario trying to be successful in this penalty kill. 3:50 remains here and a 2-minute minor penalty for Turlock.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the Fury and for Bernie Lilavois to get at that penalty. Doesn't help for defensive purposes, but the Turlock very well able to lock them down in the last power play with the Fury. So the Fury could do the same and get Tino back in a minute 40. You should all be good to go for the rest of the game.
With a minute 30 here remaining on the power play for Turlock. They look to find the stat sheet again for the second time tonight. Along the near side now. As defensively on the kill, it is Cisse, Andy Reyes, McNeely, and Hughes. So a couple veterans on that back line for Ontario. Very nice to see that presence with McNeely and Hughes, and then Toth, of course, in the net as well, as Jermaine and Turlock trying to be successful here again on the power play.
Yeah, these core players are going to make it very difficult for teams to score on the Fury with a great goalie in the back and that presence of the captain Cisse. It's going to be a difficult task to go ahead and get behind that back line.
2.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. 35 seconds remaining on the power play for Turlock. Andy Reyes tried to go along the far side boards to steer it out of harm's way. And as I say that, a tangle up along the far side boards involving McNeely. He wins that battle there, and a free kick coming to the Ontario Fury.
Yeah, McNeely able to help his ground himself up there, but he's definitely the presence that has stopped the Turlock Express from creating anything offensively other than the goal that he got on that power play last power play. We haven't seen much of the Turlock offensively, and it's all been because of McNeely, Cisse, and also another player that's making a lot of moves that we technically go ahead and look over, but I definitely should have a good year this year is Andy Reyes. He does cleans up a lot of the dirty work that goes unseen in the game of soccer. But if he has a great season and he does what he does, the Fury are on a good route to go ahead and get the season started on a positive note tonight.
Since we're touching on a portion of the newcomers, I'll continue with McNeely.
Yeah.
Prior to his time with the Tacoma Stars, McNeely did play for the Sockers and has also won 3 major indoor soccer league championships with Monterrey La Raza, 2009-2010 campaign, and the Milwaukee Wave, a couple titles there with the Wave in 11 and 12. As quoted by team president Bernie Lilavois, Evan brings a championship pedigree and veteran leadership to our team. He leads by example and is known for not only being a very tough-nosed defender, but also a guy that can go forward and add to the offensive end. Very excited to have Evan on our roster as we continue to put the pieces together for the upcoming season. And that goes understated, I believe, with McNeely joining the club, Hughes, Campbell, Walls, and Toth all coming to Southern California.
You know, hearing those notes that you just mentioned about McNeely, all I could think of in my head is just experience, experience, experience. Is that what he brings to this Fury team? Being a champion, having that gone through those games and battles, and now he's here with the Fury trying to go ahead and implement that to this new team.
Penalty kill successful for the Ontario Fury. Toth holding it on for a few more seconds there, waiting for some fresh bodies to join the pitch. Charlie Gonzalez near midfield. That jumps up and out of bounds. 1:34 remaining here in the first half from Ontario. A 6-1 lead for the home team. Adrian Perez, a hat trick +1 so far in the first half. Also goal scorers, the veteran Tino Nunez, and in his third year, Charlie Gonzalez finds the back of the net as well. Halftime portion coming up right here on MASL.TV from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Tino Nunez applying pressure along the near side boards. A little bit of a tangle up there. No whistle as the goalkeeper of Turlock, Martin Sanchez, maintaining possession for Turlock. 1:10 now remaining. Pushing the back on De Abreu. No call there. Advantage now to Turlock. A 3-on-2 if they hurry. Charlie Gonzalez back checking defensively and applies just enough pressure. As now Nunez and De Abreu. Nunez will hold on. 1 minute remaining here as he resets. A smart option there for Nunez. Assessing the play, looking ahead. De Abreu really no opportunity if he did get the ball, as two players defensively were back for Turlock. 40 seconds remaining here in the first half. Charlie Gonzalez will lay it off to Toth. Toth will drive it right up the middle of the pitch, intended for Francisco. And now trying to settle the ball down is Turlock. Along the far side with 25 seconds remaining here are the Express. Defending there from Francisco. And Toth hangs on to the ball. Lets loose and finds Chico Francisco all the way down the pitch. That rule playing dividends here as now the ball rolls right across the arc there into the near side. Turlock works. 5 seconds remain now. 4. 3 seconds now, 2. And Francisco will let the ball wind down here in the first half. And we are at the half here from Ontario, California. A 6-1 lead for the Ontario Fury. 4 goals scored by Adrian Perez. A goal apiece for Nunez and Gonzalez. Assists Campbell, Nunez, and Walls with a pair of assists so far as the Ontario Fury lead at the half here from Ontario. A 6-1 lead against a visiting Turlock Express.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot. Shoot. Score. Yeah. And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot. Shoot. Score. Yeah. And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy!
Come on, come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot, shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! Goal! ¡Debo pegar torre! ¡Oh my goodness!
Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot, shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! ¡Debo pegar torre! ¡Oh my goodness!
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot, shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot, shoot. Score. Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Alrighty, live from Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabjay. So glad you can join us alongside Jose Duran right here. Jose, a 6-1 lead for the home team Ontario Fury. What did you see in that first half?
Well, the same thing the goalie, the Turlock goalkeeper saw all night. Adrian Perez, and Adrian Perez. 4 goals so far here tonight. But overall, I mean, he's not the only one standing out. It's the other players, the new acquisitions that they had as well. Chris Toth has been huge with a couple of saves, setting the tone in the back line. But overall, very well played game by the Fury.
We saw some offensive weapons utilized in that first half, and no bigger contributor than Adrian Perez in his second season, already making a staple here. 27 goals last year, already 4 on the night for the home team Ontario Fury. Also, the key acquisitions that have joined the Ontario Fury here in Southern California: Walls, Campbell, McNeely, Hughes. You mentioned Toth. A good mixture of those veteran players, a good mixture of the young core: Maicon de Abreu, Andy Reyes, Charlie Gonzalez in his third season already, and then the veterans, Tornell, Nunez, and of course the captain, Izzy Cisse. What can we expect here in the second half?
A lot more of the same of what you've been seeing. You know, these key acquisitions you mentioned that the Fury did not have in the preseason game they faced at Turlock. Now they're making their presence being felt here so far. Campbell with the assist to Nunez. He's been able to go ahead and get things going very well for the Fury. A lot of more of the same, a lot more offense, but very well defended in the back. Has McNeely has the defense playing.
So as the second half comes underway here from Citizens Business Bank Arena, the visitors with 14 shots, the home team with 10, obviously. Toth with his 9 saves in that first half. In the second half, coming up here from Citizens Business Bank Arena, the Ontario Fury lead 6-1 over the visitors, the Turlock Express. We'll be right back on MASL.TV.
Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot! Shoot! Score! Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy!
Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot! Shoot! Score! Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo! ¡Le va a pegar Torres! ¡Ja, ja, ja! ¡Oh, my goodness!
Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot! Shoot! Score! Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy!
Out there running with your tongue out. Listo. Nomás déjeme saber cuándo.
Welcome back from Ontario, California, as halftime here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay, along with Jose Duran. A 6-1 Ontario Fury lead here after one half of play. It would say, to say the least, Jose, Adrian Perez dominating in that first half here in the season opener here for the MASL 2018-19 campaign, as Toth finds that ball right in between all that traffic for the first save of the half. Now 10 saves on the night for Toth.
Yeah, when he also provides offensively, surprisingly, as a goalkeeper, is those long balls that he sends. And now with the rule that the goalkeepers go ahead and get the ball without the line rule, is definitely something to look forward in the season and see how the Fury go ahead and take advantage of that and see if they could become a counter-attacking team.
Walls on that foul attempt there, or the foul call, I should say. Restart just above the yellow line for Turlock. Left-footed shot attempt just wide along the far side. And now Turlock applying some pressure here early on in the third quarter. 6-1 Ontario leads, just underway here in the second half. 4 goals from Perez. A goal from Charlie Gonzalez and another goal from the veteran Tino Nunez. I guess we can call Charlie Gonzalez a veteran now too.
Yeah.
In his third season. First season was a great showing for the local talent out of the Inland Empire, Cal State San Bernardino product, Charlie Gonzalez. Honorable mention for the all-rookie team of the year for the MASL that season, as Nunez steers it to the far side, and the veteran defender Hughes. And now Campbell laid off to Toth. Charlie Gonzalez on the ball, 13.5 remaining here in the third quarter of play from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Live right here on MASL.TV. Of course, Ontario Fury Soccer, driven by Mark Christopher Chevrolet, proud sponsor of your home team, along with Casa Colina and National Community Corps Renaissance. As the Fury now along the near side, and Nunez. Back heel to Campbell. Trying to go around one defender in Gutierrez, and Turlock defensively doing their job on Nunez and company. No foul call there as Nunez hit the deck.
Almost like they were bringing Nunez down with a hand right in front of the referee's face, but play on. And the way you see the ball rolling on the Fury's feet is definitely something that's enjoyable. It almost sticks perfectly to it. And they're touching the ball very well, getting everyone involved. And so far, no complaints.
Raygoza along the near side will play back to the captain, Cisse. And McNeely. Something to look forward to in the second half, Jose. Hopefully a little bit more offense from the home team. The comfortable 5-goal lead right now as I speak with 12:15 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah.
We'll see what the score is at the end of the third. As play on goes Turlock to the far side, just out of the reach. And defensively, we cleared out of the zone. Chico Francisco, lone man up, 1v2. To the near side was Perez, and unlucky was Francisco in that pass attempt there, broken up from Turlock momentarily. And now into the hands of the goalkeeper, Sanchez. Now to the far side is Monzo. And now for Turlock, Bulgaring. Defensively, that was Maicon de Abreu. Extra support there, and Perez utilizes the wall. Raygoza will clear the defensive third for Ontario. The Fury working from left to right on the broadcast here in their predominantly black home kits. Turlock trying to get something going here, Jose, in the third quarter. Lone goal was a power play goal from Turlock in the first quarter.
Yeah, they definitely look a lot more involved in the offensive scheme of things. Do the Turlock Express here after coming off at half. 5-goal lead is definitely not anywhere any team wants to be at any time, but by chipping away little by little, getting things offensively going, getting shots on goal, they did outshot the Fury in the first half, but nothing to that avail. But see if they could go ahead and pull the trigger here.
Yeah, 14-10 they led in shots in the first half. As they cleared out defensively is Ontario off the foot of De Abreu. But Ontario more successful with their quality shot attempts, just 10 shots, but 6 goals in that first half.
Yeah, you'll take that 60% accuracy any day, especially here how fast-paced the goals will go back and forth here in the MASL. But 10 minutes left here in the third quarter, 5 gone by, and the Fury defense looking spectacular tonight.
They're going to have to create something offensively. Defensively, like you said, they're doing well. Just to work on some things as far as gelling together. You always want to make sure, as that shot attempt is well up and out of bounds. I believe a timeout called by head coach for the night, team president Bernie Lillevoix. 9:57 remaining here in the third quarter of play. A 6-1 lead for the Ontario Fury over the visiting Turlock Express. But I was saying, Jose, with all these acquisitions that came on during the offseason, whether it be McNeely or Hughes or Campbell or Walls or Toth, it's going to take some time for this team to gel, and that's what team president is barking at them right now in this third quarter. This game is far from over with just under 10 minutes left to play in the third quarter. It's going to take some time here to gel, but a great start so far at a 6-1 lead. There also needs to be some sort of urgency, if you will, because this is a short season, right? I mean, they finished last season, I believe it was 10-12 overall last season. That season just flew by last year. I mean, yes, we are dealing with the MSL. There's a lot of action, a lot of fun in these games, but the season absolutely flew by. And we already mentioned about the close games that they gave up last year. 3 in total in the regular season where they had a fourth quarter lead by multiple goals. And in each of those 3 occasions, losing each game. 2 of them were at home. And, of course, losing that last regular season game against the Sockers here in Ontario. That cost them a playoff position. Tacoma and San Diego earning those playoff spots last year, representing the Pacific.
Yeah, that's why it's crucial and important for the Fury to get this victory tonight here.
Perez steers it to Gonzalez, unsuccessful in getting a shot attempt. As Charlie Gonzalez maintains possession, steers it towards the goal intended for Perez. And it trickles in for the 7th goal tonight for your home team, Ontario Fury. They lead 7-1.
Yeah, we'll see how they score that. If not, goal for Charlie Gonzalez. It should be an own goal against the Turlock Express, specifically number 19, Matt Germain, getting that old goal in the back of the net. 7-1, but like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, speaking of Charlie Gonzalez, now a veteran with his third year, someone that's sort of been outshadowed here by the rise of Adrian Perez, and definitely a home product that wants to go ahead and make an impact this season. And just going over all the players we've seen so far tonight, the Fury are very talented overall with Charlie Gonzalez, Andy Reyes, Adrian Perez, Chris Toth, all the new acquisitions. Should be a fun season, Brian.
Yeah, so far so good, and that's what kind of pressure and presence Perez brings to the pitch. I mean, he was somewhat close to that play, but Adrian Perez applying the pressure as Chico Francisco with a right-footed shot attempt steered to the near side boards. He was applying the pressure on that last shot attempt from Gonzalez, and that's what he does. Perez creates opportunities, and then the ball finds the back of the net here again for the 7th time tonight. They lead here in the third quarter. Just about 9 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play. De Abreu now near midfield, steers it to the far side to Francisco. Chico Francisco on the ball and comes to the near side to Raygoza. Raygoza in his second season, multiple or limited minutes last season on multiple occasions for the Fury. Perez tries to dance around two defenders, broken up there. Turlock would have a 3-on-2 if they hurried. And now McNeely steers it to the far side, breaking up that counter. 8:15 remains as the captain steers it to Toth, part of the Ontario Fury. After a trade, biggest trade of the offseason, Toth arriving in Ontario for Leonardo de Oliveira and Juan Gonzalez. What a pass that was. Wow. That was a back heel off the wall, off the foot of Chico Francisco. Steered it perfectly, teed it up really for Willie Raygoza, and no successful shot attempt there, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, but what a touch put by Francisco Cordiero, showing the class that he has and the touches that he can provide here for the offense. And it's another surprising thing for the Fury that they're doing all of this offensively. 7 goals tonight, Brian, without a true number 9, without a true forward, but a set of very good offensive players getting the job done tonight here at Citizens Business Bank Arena.
As Walls hit the deck again, looking for the call from the referee. No whistle there. They continue play along the far side. He's wrestling with one of the Turlock players. They get tangled up, and in the end, it's a foul on Walls.
Yeah, very unhappy. Walls tonight not getting any calls. Seems like going his way so far in this contest with 7:22 left here in the third quarter. It's all Fury so far, but you got to like the involvement of Walls. You know, even the foul that he got there, he's hustling, he's grinding, trying to get in front of the player, battling out to get possession. It's exactly what you want to see out of these players, these new upcoming players. Because, as you know, when you're joining a new team, you want to set your name for yourself, stand out to the coach, and what a better way to do so than just being actively called upon offensively and defensively as well, because he's also hustling back down there. But 7 goals so far here in the game, and it's looking like the Fury want more, Brian.
Walls played the last 2 seasons, Jose with the Cedar Rapids Rampage. In 35 games, he did post 25 goals, 7 assists while helping the Rampage to a playoff appearance last season. Prior to his time with the Rampage, Walls did play for the Milwaukee Wave for 3 seasons. His career regular season totals include 79 games played, 52 goals, 26 assists, 78 points. Walls also has some extensive outdoor soccer experience, being drafted in the 3rd round of the MLS supplemental draft by Chicago Fire before joining the Rochester Rhinos of the USL, and most recently with St. Louis FC. Team President Bernie Lillivaugh, quote, "Tony brings more veteran leadership to our team and a much-needed scoring threat up top. We are very excited to have him join the team as we get ready for our home opener tomorrow night," which is obviously tonight, and the upcoming season, obviously. So team president and coach for the night, Bernie Lillivaugh, giving high praise and recognition to the newcomer to Ontario in Walls.
Well, Bernie looks like he never missed a beat on the bench there, huh? Getting up, fierce, yelling at the refs, at his players, and he has his team up 7-1.
So with this new angle of camera on the pitch as well, on the bench, right near the field as close as you can be. I don't know how many times we would have to mute the mic, getting the background sound of team president Bernie Lilavois. Always gets the crowd riled up, energized, ready for some Ontario Fury soccer each and every home game here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. On the turnover, it's Mike-Andre Abreu, and didn't get the right touch on that in the end. Sanchez made it look easy with the foot save. Now along the near side is Turlock. They steer towards midfield in Polito. It is Adrian Polito. Along the far side, Campbell defending for Ontario. 6:10 remaining here in the third quarter of play from Citizens Business Bank Arena. And now Turlock dancing along the far side. No real threat on that shot attempt. Debreu says, let's get some fresh bodies onto the pitch for Ontario. And on come Hughes, Francisco, Charlie Gonzalez, along with Debreu and Campbell.
You know, Campbell and the defender in the back for the Fury doing very well overall as a collective group. And here come the Fury.
Francisco dancing around his defender, and his shot just wide. Charlie Gonzalez regains possession, and the captain Cisse with a fresh Mohawk lineup there, Jose.
You know, it's the home opener. 2018-19 starts off. You got to look fresh. You got to look good, and you got to play good, and that's exactly what the Fury are doing here tonight.
He's got the cut and the boots to go along with the talent there, does the captain. There's 5:10 remaining here in the third quarter. To the far side, Turlock works, trying to generate something offensively, or at least a quality shot attempt for Turlock. So far, unsuccessful. Chris Toth making every save look pretty easy. And aside from a deflected shot attempt on a power play for Turlock, this would be a shutout for Ontario.
Yeah, the Fury are just getting to every ball before them. You saw before he went out, Cordillero getting a step before the Turlock player, getting the ball back. Everyone doing their part and trying to get an 8th goal here for the Fury. But so far, solid in the back by Campbell, solid in the back by McNeely. 2 new faces coming onto the Fury team, making an impact on their very first game here with Ontario. First official game of the season with Ontario, and doing so very well are the new acquisitions.
As Toth now with 4:15 remaining here in the third quarter. Up to Walls, he's held up. Finally gets a call, and you know, he's on his tuchus right there on the pitch, giving a golf clap to the referee to the far side. He's like, finally, man, finally. I won't disagree with the call, but, you know, Walls bringing that offensive threat. He's looking for the foul call because of that talent, because of that skill offensively. But here we are with a free kick, and Perez lets loose. That sails up and out of bounds just over the net. Boy, the pace was on that shot. Just no placement there for Perez.
We're going back on Walls, like you mentioned. He gets himself in those positions to be successful. And regardless or not, if he gets a shot or whatnot, he got a foul in a very dangerous position that nearly almost got the Fury another goal here. So you got to love what you're seeing from Walls. He's almost as positioning himself the way Tino does, where he wants to get a body in front of a defender, bodying them out, create that space. And that's just something that's going to be very positive moving forward for Ontario.
Ray Goza going 50-50 shoulder to shoulder, it looked like, along the far side. I think the thump of the wall created that foul call, and then a hold up here near midfield as Perez doing more of his dancing around his defenders, and successfully so earns a foul kick here right near midfield. 3:45 remaining here in the third quarter of play from Ontario. So glad you can join us live here on MASL.TV. My name is Brian Tabajay, alongside Jose Duran here from Ontario, California. Live from chilly Southern California. Can I say that? Am I allowed to say chilly? You know, I was in Denver for Thanksgiving. It was a brisk 19 degrees with a wind chill. So
I feel like Denver folks would be in shorts and flip-flops if they were here with us tonight, Brian.
Yeah,
but
you know,
for us Southern California people, chilly to say the least.
I have a lot of friends who visit from the East Coast, that come here during the winter for their summer.
Yeah.
You know, the chilly 55 degrees and sunny isn't that bad. But here we are with 3:10 remaining here in the third quarter of play. 7-1 Ontario leads. Pair of goals from Charlie Gonzalez, a goal from the veteran Tino Nunez, and then there's Adrian Perez with just a stat pattern. 4 goals tonight already for Perez. A young season and already filling up his stat sheet as Turlock with 2:45 remaining here in the third quarter. Got to generate something at least towards the end of the third quarter here, maybe a goal or two. And team president, coach for the night, Bernie Lilavois, instructing his new core of players on how we can continue to minimize Turlock on the offensive end. Along the near side, overlapping run, steered wide defensively from Hughes. He'll maintain possession. Cross in midfield, he'll hold up, wait for reinforcements. Fresh bodies onto the pitch for Ontario. Nice flick on from Chico Francisco.
Oh. Simply amazing.
Chico Francisco made that look so simple. A touch off the back heel again from Chico Francisco. On comes Charlie Gonzalez. Placement finish for Gonzalez. The Fury lead 8-1. Charlie Gonzalez with a hat trick.
All smiles here for me tonight from Bernie Lilavois, from everyone here in attendance in Citizens Business Bank Arena. But what a touch by Chico Cordiero. Half a goal for him. We had seen him already try to do that earlier in the game off the wall. Wasn't that successful. But this time he gets the assist there. And Charlie Gonzalez with the simplest of touches. Not an easy one, but a very beautiful touch to say the least. And with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter, 8-1 Fury, Brian. Insane how good they're making it look. And usually we will be pointing out Charlie Gonzalez and Adrian Perez for a combined of 7 goals for them overall. But not tonight. The Fury overall, as a collective, as a team, as a unit, playing well, very well. And they're showing it with a 7-goal lead here.
Unofficially, it's a hat trick for Charlie Gonzalez. That would make it a pair of hat tricks tonight for Ontario. Tino Nunez, the other goal scorer for Ontario as well. And what a way to kick off the MASL campaign here in front of the home crowd. 2,057 here in attendance tonight in Ontario. If you are interested in home game tickets for the Ontario Fury, group tickets, single game tickets, however you want to visit and enjoy some MASL action, you can also call 457-0252 for tickets here at Citizens Business Bank Arena. Perez, go ahead.
Yeah, we were here for the last preseason game between these two, and after the game, we saw the Turlock Express with the over-exuberant celebration, if you could say. And I wonder if that's paying effect into these Fury players tonight, and to see them celebrate that way, that game, and coming up with a 7-goal lead with a full quarter left here.
That very well, and that's a great point there, Jose. Preseason game, winning in Ontario for the first time in quite some time. Although it was preseason, they indeed were celebrating like they won a playoff game here. But, you know, all due respect to Turlock and their franchise as time winds down here. 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. But maybe they ignited something there in Ontario. And with the score at 8-1, 20 seconds remaining here for Ontario. Turlock along the near side boards, broken up from Ray Goza. Ray Goza, one of those young, talented players, local product again for Ontario. Team president Bernie Lilavois has that eye of recruiting these players. And now along with the veteran leadership, as time finally winds down here from Citizens Business Bank Arena, a final score after 3 quarters of play, an 8-1 lead for the Ontario Fury. Another pair of goals since halftime, as it is an 8-1 lead here in Ontario. You're watching live action right here on MASL.TV. My name is Brian Tabajay, along with Jose Duran. All times are Pacific for these home games here in Ontario, all times subject to change as well. But you can watch the action on MASL.TV or MASLsoccer.com as well. An 8-1 lead for the home team Ontario Fury. As the next home game for the Ontario Fury, Sunday, December 9th against the Dallas Sidekicks, a 5 p.m. local start to that game. As it is a paying tribute to the military, as the game will be Military Appreciation Night. Proceeds from ticket sales will be donated to various nonprofit community groups supporting military families. It is a new look for the MSL fans, as the Major Arena Soccer League begins its 5th season with 16 teams in 4 divisions. New teams with the season include Orlando, which moved from Cedar Rapids, Mississauga, the Canadian team added, and Utica, who was the Syracuse franchise that moved from Syracuse to Utica. The Dallas Sidekicks, of course, returned after 1 year in hiatus and departed from the league also this season is the Solas de Sonora club from Mexico. As the final score, the other game on tilt tonight in the MASL, the Ambush victorious over Orlando 5-4. Of course, tonight's score after 3 quarters of play, an 8-1 lead for the Ontario Fury. Tomorrow night, that's when you get a lot of action here on the MASL. The Baltimore Blast and the Metro Stars meet up at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The Heat and Utica tangle at 7:05 Eastern Time. Tropics and Ambush will play against each other as well, along with the Milwaukee Wave and the Comets. 6:05 local start there. Turlock on a back-to-back. They'll visit and play the Tacoma Stars. 7:05 local time. All weekend long there are matchups. Sunday, you got Utica against the Baltimore Blast. Monterey will play against the Coyotes. El Paso with their home opener. The Dallas Sidekicks and the Barracudas tangle on Sunday as well. And then next week kicks off more action across the MASL. So the other score from tonight's MASL weekend opener, the Ambush over Orlando 5-4. 8-1 after 3 quarters of the play here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. A pair of hat tricks as well. Charlie Gonzalez and Adrian Perez. Well, Adrian Perez has a hat trick +1. So that's 4 for Perez already on the young season. Did have 27 goals last year. So picking up right where he left off last year. Along with Tino Nunez finding the back of the net, the veteran presence on this Ontario Fury club. As well as Charlie Gonzalez. Charlie Gonzalez, I say unofficially for his hat trick because it was potentially an own goal that deflected off of the Turlock Express team member Jermaine, but I believe they accounted it towards Charlie Gonzalez. As we get set to kick off here in the 4th quarter, an 8-1 lead for the home team Ontario Fury. After a long ball driven by McNeely into the hands of their goalkeeper Sanchez. And we're underway here in the 4th quarter. Ontario Fury Soccer driven by Mark Christopher Chevrolet. And as I say that, Cisse drives that ball right into the back of the net for a 9-1 lead for the home team Ontario Fury. Cisse finding the stat sheet for the first time tonight. So Izzy Cisse, the captain for the Ontario Fury, finds the back of the net after really a deflection there off the hands of the left hand of Sanchez, the goalkeeper for Turlock. Just too much pace on that ball. Cisse successful, and it's a 9-1 lead here, just underway in the 4th quarter. 14:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Toth now to the near side for Ontario. Intended for Nunez. That's broken up from Turlock. Germain possessing the ball for the Express. And now Perez and Reyes. A one-touch pass to the far side boards to Nunez. Nunez played it off the wall. Reyes, the beneficiary, and it's a 9-goal lead for the Ontario Fury. Andy Reyes getting his first goal of the season. Nunez finds the assist column in the stat sheet again, and it's a 10-1 lead here in the fourth quarter for Ontario. So Nunez, as a veteran should do, playing the ball off the far side boards like he does so often, results in a goal for Andy Reyes and a 9-goal lead for the Ontario Fury here in their opener of their 2018-19 campaign in front of just over 2,000 fans here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Cisse maintains possession. Drives it back to McNeely. And now Toth. Yes, Toth, a member of the Ontario Fury after a big offseason trade, sending Leonardo de Oliveira and Juan Gonzalez to the San Diego Sockers. Toth finds his way a couple hours north to Ontario. A former two-time MASL goalkeeper of the year. He's been part of a winning franchise in the Sockers and brings over that championship mentality to this young blossoming franchise in Ontario. As Campbell now to the far side, driven in from De Abreu, maintains possession and then broken up at the last second there into the hands of goalkeeper Sanchez for Turlock. 12:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. A deflection off of one of the Turlock defenders, and away we go across midfield for the Express. Hughes defending. De Abreu, Campbell also on the pitch along with Gonzalez and Chico Francisco. Turlock, nothing offensively so far tonight. A power play goal that was deflected right past Toth in the first half. Aside from that, fans, it has been a defensive showstopper here for Ontario. Off the wall to the far side. And De Abreu settled things down for Ontario. Tried to headman that ball up to Francisco. Broken up there from Turlock. 12:05 remains here in the fourth quarter. Francisco now, if they hurry, they can get on a counter here. Francisco, bouncing ball, benefits Turlock along the far side. And now Toth literally juggling the ball. Showing off his skill set here. Cisse and Toth defensively. Wow, I've never seen that in an MASL game. Toth making it look easy, whatever he does on the pitch tonight. Only one goal given up with 11.5 remaining in the game. Giving direction to the Fury players on the field. Walls collects along the near side, takes a seat and earns a foul call. Foul on Rios of Turlock. McNeely stands over the ball, powerful left foot. Last season from Tacoma, drives it right on the floor, makes his way through, but Cisse will regather. And now Raygoza. Cisse crosses midfield, looks over his options, switches the field to Raygoza. Does have Perez to his left, decides to go with Tornell. Bobby Tornell back onto the pitch for the first time in a couple seasons here. Nice to see one of the veteran members of the original roster is Tornell. Couple knee injuries / surgeries for Tornell, and he's back onto the field. Nunez tries to dance around one defender. Reyes gets tripped up, earns a foul call there. right along the far side of the field. In a pretty dangerous area for the foul call, as Hughes directing everyone on the pitch on what to do here. Set piece play for Ontario. He'll drive it, deflect it, and then another shot attempt just high, sails over the goal off the foot of De Abreu. Defensive clearance. Referees say yes, a restart coming at the top of the arc for Ontario. 10:21 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play from Citizens Business Bank Arena. My name is Brian Tabajay. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.TV. MASL action across MASL.TV and MASLsoccer.com all season long. And after the restart, Adrian Perez finds the net for the 5th time tonight. It is an 11-1 lead for the Ontario Fury. So it is safe to say, fans, in the season opener of this campaign, and the newly revamped Ontario Fury will win tonight's contest. I'm going out on a limb tonight and saying that they will be victorious here in front of their 2,000 fans here in Citizens Business Bank Arena. 11-1 they lead with 10:19 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. So glad you can join us right here on MASL.TV. Next home game for your Ontario Fury, Sunday, December 9th, a matchup against the Dallas Sidekicks. 5 p.m. local time start there for the Ontario Fury. Dallas, after a year of hiatus, they're back in the MASL, ready to play and match up as soon as possible here with the Ontario Fury. The Fury, a lot of key acquisition moves in the offseason with a blend of veteran talent, young talent as well, local talent, Charlie Gonzalez, Andy Reyes, Ray Gosa, De Abreu, all those young kids now in their second season of play, combined with the veteran leadership of Toth, McNeely, Hughes, Campbell, Walls, Francisco, on and on and on I can go with this Ontario Fury team. Adrian Perez lets loose. That's up and over the net. 5 goals tonight for Adrian Perez. He's carrying off right where he left off from last year. 27 goals for Perez in his rookie campaign. Now along the far side with 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Turlock going quietly in the second half now. Another 5 goals since the second half started. And Cisse settled things down, picks his heads up, and finds Perez along the far side. Intended for Francisco. He's heading the ball back to Sanchez, and Chico Francisco nearly sniffing that one out. But with 8:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter, it's an 11-1 lead for your home team, Ontario Fury. Adrian Perez, 5 goals. Charlie Gonzalez, 3 goals. Cisse joining the party as well, along with Tino Nunez. Chris Toth, his veteran presence on the pitch. Behind that defensive back line, who has been recently revamped and re-energized with the veterans. All that knowledge, all of that game experience from multiple players from San Diego, from Cedar Rapids, from Tacoma, all joining forces here in Ontario with 8:05 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ontario pressuring with De Abreu along the near side, and Sanchez looks to the far side. De Abreu breaks that play up defensively and tried to play it to Walls, but a slow ball there broken up by Rios. And a player down for Turlock. Might have been tangled up with Reyes before Reyes got that ball along the near side. Nonetheless, play continues for Ontario. Crashing into the wall defensively is Turlock. And now Nunez will settle things down. Lay back off to Chris Toth. McNeely and Toth for Ontario here with 7:05 remaining. Perez will eat up some time as well. Trying to stretch things out here is Ontario, looking for options on the offensive end. Turlock will play that ball off the wall as Polito. Now Turlock trying to generate something here in their offensive half. But 6:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter. A little too late for Turlock. As Ontario, their next home game will be on December 9th against Dallas. That is their next game. And then that following weekend, they'll visit Tacoma for the first time this season. A big one on December 19th on Thursday against the San Diego Sockers. That'll be entertaining to say the least as Chris Toth faces his former team for the first time, as well as Leonardo de Oliveira and Juan Gonzalez. After they play host to San Diego, they'll go up north to visit Turlock just a couple days after, and they'll be on back-to-backs visiting Turlock and then back home against Tacoma. Following weekend for the Ontario Fury, they'll head back up to Turlock and then play home to Turlock first week of January, ending that first week of January down in San Diego. So Pacific Division heavy here in this first couple months here of the MASL season. As the Ontario Fury clicking on all cylinders already. 11-1 is your score with 6:31 remaining here in tonight's contest. But a good blend of veteran leadership, young talent, and original veteran team members of the Ontario Fury, and Tino Nunez, Izzy Cisse, and Bobby Tornell. Cisse and Nunez found the stat sheet. Tornell playing in some key moments as well. Cleared out defensively, and now Hughes trying to create some chaos near midfield on the breakout, and luckily broken up by Turlock. And now McNeely. McNeely will dance around his defender. Unfortunately, a defensive clearance on McNeely. Top of the arc reset here for the visitors. 6:14 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. An 11-1 lead for the Ontario Fury. Came easy, it looked like, so far in tonight's contest. As the ball's laid off to the far side. Defensively, Hughes on the ground to break that thing up also. And with 6:05 remaining, Turlock, no pace, no offensive threat, no creating opportunities for Turlock. And I hate to be negative here, but Toth really making things look easy after that deflection off the foot of the Turlock forward. And now deflected, Perez finds the posts again for tonight. Second time tonight, regains possession. Regosa tees off, slide tackling break up there from Jermaine, and he's on the floor, shaken up a little bit. Referees calling for two separate players injured on the field. One to our left out of the camera angle is Jermaine, and in camera is Campbell. Hopefully no one's seriously injured here. 5:32 remains here in the fourth quarter of play. Ontario with a comfortable 10-goal lead, 11-1. As a replay of how the injury took place near midfield. Just dragged down there was Campbell after a tangle up with, I believe, Gutierrez. Well, the good thing is he's walking and on his own power, so positive sign there. It looks like it might be his right elbow, right arm, right wrist area for Campbell. Hopefully nothing too serious here as this fourth quarter coming down quickly. 5:32 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play. 11-1 Ontario leads. Andre Campbell joins forces with quite a few different players across the globe, really. McNeely, Hughes, Walls, Chris Toth, obviously. Inactive for tonight's contest. Gino Kim, Jiho Lee, Odai Belhaj also, who joined the team late last season. A handful of players released in some offseason moves. Of course, the big one was the trade for Chris Toth, sending Leonardo de Oliveira and Juan Gonzalez to San Diego. Shot attempt off the right foot of Francisco. Save off the right foot of Sanchez. And now Perez will steer to Tornell. And now back to McNeely in their defensive half. Perez feeds Tornell on the overlapping run. And that's into the hands of Sanchez. McNeely will lay it off to Toth. And now Tornell. Next home game is Sunday, December 9th. They play hosts to the Dallas Sidekicks. 5 p.m. local start for the Ontario Fury. 2,000 fans strong here in the Inland Empire, represented in the Citizens Business Bank Arena to cheer on their home team, Ontario Fury, kicking off their 2018-19 MASL campaign. A strong showing here for this newly revamped team. Team president Bernie Lilavoff very busy in the offseason. At the helm tonight as head coach Jimmy Nordberg unfortunately out. And now Walls will steer to the far side to De Abreu. And now Reyes, a little hesitant on the first time shot attempt, took a couple extra touches too much. And now we'll reset with Toth. Fury fans should be excited, although it is against a Pacific Division rival. Maybe there's some extra energy or oomph. Jose did mention Turlock coming in here last week, earning a preseason victory, celebrating as if they won a playoff game. Maybe that added fuel to the fire for Ontario. I don't know what else you need for a season home opener on a Friday night here in Southern California. Now Perez to the near side. They'll give it up to Tino Nunez. So Nunez, Cisse, and Tornell in their 6th season with the Ontario Fury. This obviously kicks off the 6th season as well for the franchise in Ontario. Toth now steers the ball to the far side off the boards to Nunez. Lets loose, and that's deflected, and now maintained. And now Tornell breaks that up. Under 3 minutes left to play here now in the fourth quarter. De Abreu will take his time, steer it over to Toth, and Toth will find the far side of the boards to Gonzalez. Major Arena Soccer League in its 5th season of inception. 16 teams, part of the MASL this season. Cedar Rapids making a move to Orlando. Dallas Sidekicks back after a year off. Syracuse moving to Utica. And Mississauga now in Canada, a franchise for the MASL. Exciting stuff here as we start this 2018-19 campaign, as now they finally get another goal. Jermaine, the captain, scores for Turlock. Left-footed shot attempt, just steered it to the far side. Toth a little frustrated with himself. I think he'd be a little bit more frustrated if he was carrying a shutout, but giving up a goal nonetheless as he was trying to shift over, still caught in his movement towards his left. And Jermaine, right placement, right pace on that ball as well, and it's 11-2 here in Ontario. So upcoming games for your Ontario Fury after tonight's contest: home game against Dallas, an away game against Tacoma, followed by San Diego at home, Turlock on the road in consecutive weekends, and Tacoma visiting as well for another home game. All game times Pacific for your Ontario Fury. Game times subject to change as well. All Ontario Fury and MASL games can be streamed on the MASL.TV channel or MASLsoccer.com. If you want tickets to any home games for your Ontario Fury, you can call 909-457-0252. That home game against the Dallas Sidekicks coming up on Sunday. It is paying tribute to the military, as the game will be Military Appreciation Night. All proceeds from ticket sales will be donated to various nonprofit community groups supporting military families. Of course, Ontario Fury Soccer, driven by Mark Christopher Chevrolet, Casa Colina, and National Community Corps Renaissance, also proud sponsors of your Ontario Fury. Whistle along the far side boards as Walls draws another whistle. Minute 45 remaining here in the contest. 11-2, a comfortable, cozy lead here for the Ontario Fury. Bernie Littlevaux running the bench tonight. Jimmy Nordberg out with prior commitments. As the ball steered to the far side, Toth off his line a little aggressively. Ball left for one of the players who thought another Express teammate was running onto that ball, right into the feet of Ontario. Minute 15 now remains in the game. Raygoza ahead of the pack here. First touch is no good. And defensively, Sanchez will step off his line and clear the ball. Hughes will restart the ball here after a defensive clearance off of the goalkeeper, Sanchez, and he'll just restart. Minute 5 remaining here in the fourth quarter of play from Citizens Business Bank Arena. Tornell playing off the boards along the near side. Perez trying to generate something with his right foot, and that was broken up defensively from Turlock. Tornell defensively now for Ontario, along with De Abreu, and he'll clear the zone defensively. That hops up and out of bounds. As looking over the roster and the hometown of the current roster of the Ontario Fury, players are from all over the globe. West Africa, Brazil, Jamaica, Colorado Springs domestically, Lancaster, Ontario, Washington. All these players of the Ontario Fury generating here in Southern California. Something special is brewing here in Ontario. An 11-2 final score in the season home opener, fans, from Citizens Business Bank Arena. 11-2 your final score, as Jose Duran will be on the pitch to interview the player of the game. I'm assuming it will be Adrian Perez. He did have 5 goals on the night, along with Charlie Gonzalez. A hat trick for the youngster Gonzalez in his 3rd season. Nunez finding the stat sheet. Cisse joining the party as well and finding the goal. Assists, key contributions already from the newest Ontario Fury players. Assists from Campbell, Nunez, Walls with a pair of assists as well. So already the contributors for in those off-season acquisitions are paying dividends already in the home opener. 11-2 your final score, as your Ontario Fury kick off their 2018-19 campaign in great fashion against the visiting Turlock Express. Next home game for the Dallas Sidekicks will be Sunday, 5 p.m. local time here from Citizens Business Bank Arena. And the Ontario Fury look to stay undefeated in this young season. The other final score in the MSL tonight in opening weekend for this year. The Ambush victorious 5-4 over Orlando. Obviously the score here 11-2. Your final score. As Toth being interviewed at midfield. One of the key components in the offseason that joined forces here in Ontario. Games for tomorrow night as opening weekend continues in the MASL. The Metro Stars and the Blast Tangle at 6 p.m. Eastern. Utica and the Heat, a 7:05 local start time for that matchup. The Tropics and the Ambush also matching up as well. The Wave and the Comets have their opening games this weekend. The Stars and these very same Turlock Express will match up tomorrow night, 7:05 local time. And then Sunday, the party continues across the MASL. 3 more games on Sunday as well. Utica against the Blast, Monterey and the Coyotes, and then the Barracudas and the Dallas Sidekicks. Welcome back, the Sidekicks, as they took a year off of the MASL. But here they are, ready to kick things off again in the Major Arena Soccer League. Soccer League. Of course, all the action across the home team Ontario Fury throughout the season can be found on masl.tv and maslsoccer.com. That goes with all action across the MASL. As the Ontario Fury, a disappointing end to the season last year, finished overall at 10-12 and a third-place finish in the Pacific Division. Trying to shake things up in the Pacific, bringing Chris Toth to the Ontario Fury, the reigning MASL 2-time goalkeeper of the year, who joins the team in the big blockbuster trade with San Diego and expected to make huge contributions both on and off the field. Veteran leadership are Jeff Hughes, Evan McNeely, Andre Campbell, and Tony Walls. Also joining the red, white, and black is Andre Laurie, who saw time with the San Diego Soccer's MASL 2 team and is expected to join the team later in the season. It is another year for the MASL 2, the Major Arena Soccer League's developmental league. M2 will begin its second season in December with 15 teams and 3 new divisions. Chicago won the inaugural M2 Cup and will defend its title against Detroit, Cincinnati, Rochester, and a handful of other teams as well, along with the Ontario Fury 2. Across the league, MASL begins its 5th season. 16 teams and 4 divisions. New teams this season include Orlando, which moved from Cedar Rapids, Mississauga, which is in Canada, and Utica obtained Syracuse on that move. The Dallas Sidekicks are back after a year off from the MASL, and unfortunately the Solis de Sonora Club no longer in the MASL for this season. As the Ontario Fury play host to the Dallas Sidekicks on Sunday, December 9th at 5 p.m. Catch all the action right here on masl.tv and maslsoccer.com. As we'll be back shortly with some interviews on the pitch from Jose Duran, players of the game on both sides for Ontario and Turlock. We'll be back shortly right here on masl.tv.
Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Shoot! Score! Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury Soccer Team. Come on.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina!
And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury soccer team.
Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! ¡Devo pegar torre! ¡Oh my goodness! Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! ¡Devo pegar torre! ¡Oh my goodness! Pereira into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! into the back of the net. Medina! Go for the birthday boy! Goal!
All right, thank you so much for that, Brian. I'm here with Matt Germain, author of the goal, and an unofficial assist. I'll give it to you with the dummy between your legs. Matt, y'all were here a couple weeks ago for the preseason game. Got that victory there. What was different tonight?
You know, we struggled to start the game and we never really recovered. So, you know, I think we need to focus on starting strong and, you know, playing.
Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Get it. Let's go. Let's go. Shoot! Shoot! Score! Yeah! And that's why I'm a proud sponsor of the Fury Soccer Team.
Oh my goodness! Into the back of the net. Medina!
Dug ourselves a hole and couldn't get out, and you know that was our biggest problem. So,
Like I mentioned, you got a score tonight. The team didn't get the victory, but what is the keys to the victory for next game and the season overall moving forward?
yeah, it's to forget about this one. It's only one game, and we have a long season. So, you know, we've been improving, and you know, this isn't the end of it. You know, just because it was a bad loss doesn't mean we can't turn it around. So, we're looking forward to a next chance to play and prove ourselves. So,
Thanks. Best of luck, Matt. Now going here with Adrian Perez, 4 goals tonight. And now I'm here with the player of the game, Adrian Perez, for the Ontario Fury. 4 goals tonight. Adrian, 5 goals tonight. Yeah, that's good. 5 goals tonight. Adrian, 11 goals tonight overall for the team. You were an all-rookie team last year. What did you do in the offseason to improve for this season and for the season overall?
Oh, you know, just been putting the extra hours. I've been, you know, working a lot on my finishing. And so far it's going good. First game, so I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But, you know, I've been working in the off-season, doing weights, you know, doing anything I can do just to better myself.
You all have a couple of new acquisitions as well with Campbell, McNeely, Hughes. What are the keys for the season moving forward with the new acquisitions, and what do y'all want to make happen with the new stars that you have in the team?
Yeah, I mean, we added some very, very good players with a lot of experience, and you know, we're hoping to add them to.
All right, thank you so much for that, Brian. I'm here with Matt Germain, author of the goal, and an unofficial assist.